Welcome back to Digest with Jasmine. I'm your favorite registered dietitian-nutritionist, and I'm here dishing out all the nutrition topics. Today we're going to talk about food labeling. Y'all ready? Because I'm ready. Let's go. So when you're thinking about food labels and labeling food in general, so not the actual labels that you see on food, we'll talk about that on another episode, but what I mean is actually labeling food, whether they're good, they're bad. That's what we're going to dish on today. So often we label foods. We say, oh, chocolate is bad for you, or even foods that may have some nutrition benefits, a lot of people are labeling them as a bad food. Think of dairy products. Someone told me the other day that yogurt was bad, and I'm like, okay, we got to get through this together, you and I, because I'm going to school you in a second. No, not really, but just in general, when I hear these things, I always tell people, let's not label foods, because we really don't want to set up, a negative association with the food. And that's typically what happens. So think about things that we love to eat, things like chips, cookies, Oreos, look, I love Oreos. I'm gonna have y'all sending me Oreos by the end of this year. But, we label these things as bad food. And then we have things that we label as good, or superfoods, and they are definitely superfoods, so I won't even touch that. But think of foods like good foods. So, fruits and vegetables, those are good for you, and whole grains, which they are really, really great for your body, but we need to really stop labeling foods. Why? Is because we do set up some negative associations with foods, and then that actually give food power. So when you're thinking about food, food is there to nourish your body, correct? Correct. So when you give food such as power, you just set up a relationship with it that can become super unhealthy. So we really want to unpack these feelings of, labeling food and giving them such power. So we're going to do that. And like I told you guys, this is going to be a really quick video. It's just like, hey, let's get to the point and let's figure this out. So let's start off with food isn't good, it's not bad, it's not all of this. Food is food, right? Food is food, and we need to stop blaming it. There's no such thing as a good or bad food. The only time I really tell my clients to actually avoid a food if they have allergens or if they have like a specific medical condition that, doesn't allow them to eat that. And then we just typically avoid that food. We really don't even say that food is, bad for you. It's just like, you know what? You can't have this in your diet, so we're just not going to eat it, right? So that's typically how we go about it, because again, we don't want to give food this power. So the key is moderation. The key is moderation. And I know you may hear a lot of dietitians saying that, eat it in moderation, eat it in moderation, eat it in moderation. And you're like, okay, so what does that mean? So you may be wondering, what is moderation? So think of the 80-20 rule. So if you're going throughout your week with having like a really nice breakfast, lunch, dinner, really nice and balanced, like we talked about last time in my video, then you can always fit those things in there, like, an Oreo or a nice cookie once in a while, because you don't want to make those foods an everyday thing, just because when you think of things that have fruits, grains, those lean proteins or protein alternatives, those things actually give your body everything that it needs to keep going, to give it energy. And when you think of those foods like the cookies and the candy, those things are enjoyment. So if you're eating those on a daily basis, your body's not really getting anything but calories, right? So that's what we mean in moderation. Definitely eat those foods that you're going to be getting all those good nutrients from. And then a little once in a while, sneak in a cookie or a bag of chips at your lunch. It's definitely fine, but you definitely don't want to do that every day, right? So if you start looking at it as that, instead of, oh, cookies are bad for me or chips are bad for me, because typically what we do is we avoid those foods, and then sometimes they have this power over us. So when we see it, we fall into it like a bad relationship. We just go right back to it, and then we end up over consuming it, and that's sort of where this cycle can go. So when you're thinking about you know, before you call, you know, something bad, just think about it. Like, you know what? If I really just want to enjoy this, I'm going to enjoy it and I'm going to move on. Because that's the goal and that's the relationship that I want you to have with food. I don't want you to feel like, well, you know, I really can't have this cookie, and then you go 2 weeks without it, and then you just go crazy on cookies. Eat that cookie and then move on. You know, at your dinner, have a nice, really balanced dinner. Some lean protein, some vegetables, some whole grains, and then you're like, you know, bet, I did what I had to do for today, and then you move on. So the next time you think of calling something bad or good, you know, just throw that out the window and enjoy yourself. So if you're looking for some more tips like this, you can follow my Instagram, jasmyn.rd, as well as join my Facebook group. It's a private group for women. It's called Girls Going Healthy. That's where I provide nutrition and self-care tips and just like some really great motivation and, you know, just a really great place for you to find new friends as well that can push you to your health goals as well. So thank you guys for being here. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.